Welcome to the Madness Collective. I am Present. My co-host is Antoine.
Hi,
There he be.
niggas.
Our guest co-host tonight is Jason. Hi, Jason.
All up in your face. All up in your face.
Oh, right. What do I do? Help me. Am I in the wrong place?
Bring yourself a little bit more forward so you're more centered in the frame, is what I was saying. But you're also okay. So
He's fine because he won't be on the screen by himself again, so he's fine. Yeah.
No, this is great. This is great. Except for them eyes. Them eyes a little crazy, but other than that, you're good. So, hi, welcome to our show. We recap the headlines, which are fucking out of control. So tonight, more cops on campus. Kendrick's opus, Euphoria. In my opinion, annihilated Drake. But
I mean, you're fucking biased, so you're biased.
I said in my opinion. I'm sorry. Did I say Drake? I meant to say Aubrey, but it's cool.
Or Crody.
Long as you don't call him nigga. Because he got his in card snatched. It's like, yeah, we don't want to hear that out of you no more, son. I was like, whoa.
I typed up this intro. I'm gonna fight both of y'all. I'm finishing it, okay? Trump channels THANOS while trolling his truth. His orange imperialist is coming if y'all fuck around and let him back in office. And well-meaning, but honestly, maybe a little clueless. Drew Barrymore, love you, but what, girl, what? So, okay, all that more. Hey, Karen, what's up? What's up, Dion? Hey, Sarah.
Hello.
Jason, welcome back.
Oh, thanks. Who said that? Thank you.
I said that.
Oh, good. All right.
And
nice.
It looks like
nice and synchronized.
I know, right? I know. I was just about to say, it looks like we got this audio together tonight.
Yeah, and I'm gonna announce again. So I don't know if it helped or not because our new platform support is trash, but we're no longer streaming live to Facebook. It reduces our bandwidth requirement by more than half. So that may be why Jason is synchronized with us tonight. So either way, we can't have this shit that was happen anymore. So we had to reduce our bandwidth. We don't really have much of a following on Facebook. Most of y'all switched over to YouTube, thank God. So I did put a post on there just in case, anybody is wondering. So yeah.
Because there were a few people who were like jumped in. They're like, oh, I saw you guys went live on Facebook and I was on Facebook and they went. And I was like, okay, well, you should switch to YouTube.
Yeah. And I also put the link to our YouTube channel for them to subscribe. So
yes, thank you, Dion. What Dion said. Please like and subscribe, like right now.
Please.
Thanks. All right. So tonight, the campus protests continue, and they have escalated even more so on a couple campuses, Columbia. So I haven't really gone into super detail. It was a lot. There's a lot. Keeping up with a lot of things right now. I kind of have a big picture perspective on all of this, and principally, which we talked about, I think, the other day, Antoine, our country was founded on protest, right? Like they were telling King George, they were telling that motherfucker, like, deuces, Tea Party, original Tea Party, right? Like the country is founded on that. We are allowed to peacefully protest. We should hopefully we'll be able to continue peacefully protesting in the future. So I think, from my perspective, just leadership, I wish this were being handled in a different way, right? Like I think, and again, it may be a little bit simplistic, but you're on campus. If you're the leader of a movement, right? Like you are, and also this whole civil disobedience stuff. Okay, I'm not a student of civil disobedience. I'm aware of it. Civil rights movement, MLK. They studied Gandhi. I do know that they practiced, right? Like they practiced the police in their face. They practiced getting like hit with water and ketchup and all that stuff. So they were prepared for certain things. I don't know how y'all put y'all movement together. I'm not saying it's shoddy. I'm just saying there is a structure to this. And so if part of your movement, you got somebody, like your movement is pro-Palestine, like, genocide, we don't support that. That does not equate to anti-Semitism, right? That does not equate. Those things are not the same, okay? You can be pro-Palestine. That does not mean you're anti-Semitic. And so if you have one or two people in the group who out here yelling Jewish slurs, you need to handle that, right? Like that motherfucker needs to go because he's messing up your movement. He's messing up your message.
I understand.
Right? So first. Second, police presence. security on campus. Hey, you roll up on these cats. If somebody doesn't have a student ID, they gotta go. They gotta go. They gotta get off campus, like right now. So I think there's ways to, there are, in my opinion, better ways to handle this because it is a complex issue. These are heated times, and the visual of what's happening right now is a mess. It is scary. These are for the most part kids. I know there are some outside agitators, especially in a place like New York, especially with a campus like Columbia that is not completely closed off. But again, leadership, right? Like these are the times when leadership is tested. This is why it's helpful to have advisors who can help you. What's the best way for us to handle this? That we're staying true to our message about a university and what we are supposed to be doing here, or what we want from our students, and also hear the students out. Students traditionally have been on the right side, right? Think about Vietnam, think about apartheid. Hear them out. You may not like how they're going about what they're doing, but you should hear what they have to say. Meet with them. It's the people, the other voices that are getting in and screaming and like, oh my God, these kids are horrible, and I'm not gonna ever employ anybody from Columbia. Y'all sound crazy. Like, just everybody take a beat, right? If you a grown up with some sense, just fucking take a beat. And it's just scary. So that's my monologue.
You got anything to add, Jason?
Me? Yeah. Oh, me? Yeah. I completely agree.
I got another big picture, but go ahead, Jason.
I completely agree, and I think I'll wait and argue with you about your other big picture when we get to that picture. I'll burn that bridge when we get to it. It should be a lot better organized. There should absolutely be no acceptance on your side of anti-Semitism, or like just no acceptance. My idea is that sometimes when you get that, those are not even people that are really there with you. They're there to do that. They're not there for you. And they're not, they might even be super pro-Zionist, pro-Israel guys that are, because one thing that I've been seeing in this is people kind of both sidesing it in the press. So I searched all day because I'm like that. I searched all day when I heard that there was physical conflict at UCLA. And I have a friend whose daughter was there last night and is back there tonight. And you would have to dig to find out who started it and who was just defending themselves. Mm-hmm. And it's what Danielle's talking about right now. It's like, don't write about it, call yourself the news, and not put known details that are there. So don't just conflate, don't allow the message of conflating anti-Semitism. Well, Jewish, I got into one discussion, it's like, oh, well, I have Jewish friends whose kids are on these campuses and they're not safe. I'm like, let's be clear. They've been attacked. They're not safe. They are actually unsafe, or they are pretending to feel unsafe. Has someone threatened them? Because if you can't say that, and no one's, I see that as a lot of agitators, same as with the BLM movement, where you got my man, the blonde guy, setting fire to Target on camera. It's like, don't let those people come in and yuck your yum, or you know what I mean? Because that's what they're there to do. Like, not like your thing. And I won't go too long, but like you mentioned it already, and I wrote one of the shortest posts ever today on Fox because I was just going in there to get flamed. Like I literally went in there to get flamed, and on the New York Post. So the New York Post put up chaos. That's my man. Like I said, some people, the thing about people is they hate to get called on their shit, and unfortunately, that is what God put me here to do. So they put up a still, and the caption to the still was, pro-Israeli student being beaten by Palestinian whatever. The problem was I looked at the picture, and the dude that was getting beat up by 5 or 6 dudes in this photograph was wearing a red, black, green, and white jacket. So I'm like, he don't seem like he's wearing the right colors to be, you know what I mean? So then I looked at the video that they had posted on New York Post and pulled that still from, and you see this young man being pulled from behind a very peaceful pro-Palestinian thing and beaten by like 5 or 6 guys, and 3 or 4 guys finally come out to help him. That's as good as it got. Or I saw a young sister get pushed over the other day by some dude, like knocked over, and I was like, it's like people, why didn't she do anything? Why didn't anyone do anything? Because you see all these people in the background as she gets knocked down. She's like screaming, I didn't touch you. And he's calling her names and standing over her. And I'm like, he picked a small black woman because that is the person in that crowd that he knew could not fight him, and he knew no one would fucking defend. That nobody would do nothing when he did that. So anyway, let's stay out of it. But yeah, these are not anti-Semitic protests. These are not pro-Hamas protests. These are not anti-Jewish. They're not necessarily anti-Zionist or even anti-Israel. These are anti-genocide, pro-humanitarian, pro-liberation protests. Make that clear and keep that clear on your side. Sorry,
For the most part, the problem is the people who, the outside agitators who are rolling in and fucking it up. And then Antoine, I know you have some stuff, but just in terms of, because we also talked about this too a couple shows ago, feeling unsafe on campus. I know what that's like. Black women who went to predominantly white school. Now, granted, it was Harvard, so I wasn't concerned about nobody, chasing me with a fucking bat. However, nobody, the N-word could fly out of anybody's mouth at any time, right? So we talked about legitimately feeling unsafe. Now, when all this began, these cats are sitting in tents doing their homework. People are just walking past them going to class. Once things are escalating, okay, and that should be addressed, right? Like, I should be able to feel safe on my campus. And if there are circumstances happening that you don't feel safe, valid. I'm going to give you that, right? And let's figure out how to address that, and at the same time allow people to peacefully protest, while those who are fucking up the peaceful protest need to go. Antoine. And then we don't have to stay here.
I don't understand why. To me, it's not difficult to have a designated area for people to protest. This shit with people going in libraries and shit, like, that part doesn't make sense to me. The tent part don't even make sense to me. I don't see how you're going to gain traction that way. Have an area where you allow students to go and protest. Let them protest. They're visible, they're heard. And also, like Crescent mentioned, have a dialogue with them. I don't know who came up with this idea of forming a shantytown on campus, because to me, the reason that this is problematic is because setting up tents on campus disrupts the student body. People going to class, protest. I mean, you should be able, in the middle of all the protests, you should be able to still go to class. Maybe you don't want to participate in the protest. Nothing should disrupt a student's ability to go to class at one of these expensive ass fucking schools. Because if I'm paying $80,000 a year, I'm going to a fucking class. If you're forcing me to take some online classes, I better get a motherfucking refund, because your school costs too fucking much to be pulling that off. But at the same time, I think sometimes what happens is, because everybody feels so strongly about what's happening, because I heard some protests and the language is pretty strong, and they were saying intifada and all these other things. And that translates differently to somebody of Jewish descent, no matter where you might be apolitical. But when you hear that feels, you might feel threatened by hearing that. So I think that there are ways. This speaks to a lack of leadership. You catch more bees with honey. The language, like Jason said, should specifically be centered around, we don't support genocide of people of any ethnicity, background, or nationality. I would stop labeling it so much Israel versus Palestine. I would, they should push more, they should push that narrative. Even though we know what's really happening here, because it's hard to separate the two, because it really is. Both parties involved are always going to have the word genocide thrown around because of the Holocaust and what they're doing to the Palestinians. So it's hard to completely remove the controversy from it, but one of the first things you could do is stop setting up tents. I don't agree with this whole tent thing. It's disrupting classes and things of that nature.
I think the tents were because of what's happening in Gaza, and people are being forced to live in tents because they reduced their fucking housing to rubble and destroyed hospitals and all that shit. I think that's where the tent thing came from. And
I get it. It's a bad idea. I get it. I get it.
And also the encampment situation, I think they were in a designated protest area on Columbia's campus. And then I think Karen said, yeah, they set up the tents in designated protest areas, but that's also where graduation is held. So they was going to have to clear that out eventually. But that's what I was getting at in terms of, we may not like the logistics of how they're going about doing this, right? Like, we might not like the details of it. And okay, fine, right? Like, there was a lot of pushback, Vietnam protests, apartheid protests, right? People felt strongly about how this was happening. Okay, but again, this is our country. We get to protest, right? Like we get to peacefully protest. So it ain't always gonna be.
Why they going in buildings and not leaving? Like that's the part I'm not like. That's the shit that's not
Again,
making
also,
any sense to
I
me.
can I can speak to that.
That's happened that happens on campus. They did it at Harvard in the 60s. They took over, I think, the admin building, right? Like that's not
I,
unheard of now. Look, breaking windows and shit.
Yeah, again, the leadership is problematic. When I was on campus, when I was in college, a bunch of students got together and there was an issue with homelessness and everybody wanted to protest. And somebody stood up and said, I got a great idea. We're going to make a makeshift shanty town on campus to show everyone how we feel about this issue. And a bunch of us were like, don't fucking insult homeless people by making a pretend fucking homeless city on campus. There are more effective ways to protest homelessness in our city. And that's what I mean. It's like, there needs to be more discussion about these things. I feel like what didn't the whole I hate to beat a dead horse here. Didn't the whole tent thing start on one campus and then everybody else started following suit on different campuses?
I kind of think so, but again, the origin of that was because of what's happening in Gaza. And then you were gonna say something, Jason, and we can move on because I don't want to spend a lot of more time on this.
I'll say two things and then shut up. Disruption is part of the purpose, so it is not meant to be convenient. So I'll equate it to a conversation I had a lot during both sets of Black Lives Matter things, the old one from Trayvon and the newer one, or the Ferguson, whichever the ones were. And the issue being, don't burn down Target, don't shut down the freeway, blah, blah. But the problem is when you start doing things that make it convenient for people to ignore what you're talking about, that is what they will do, as they have been doing. So it's meant to be disruptive. It should not be destructive. So
okay,
I'm only half against you on that one, but that's part of the point, is to irritate the shit out of people. It's one of those things.
I get it.
And then the other thing is, like, my argument to people all day, instead of getting into the details of genocide and blah, blah, we all know how a lot of us feel about it, is that while we're talking about these protests, is that you have to remember that the same people, starting with civil rights, going through apartheid, Wall Street, greed, every school protest, certain subsets of our social society have been against school protests every single time. They have proven to be wrong every single time. So that's just happening again now. And that's kind of my argument back to anyone that has a problem with it. I think that, the wifey's on there. Hi, wife. That's my wife, in case no one's ever seen her.
Hi, wife.
Hey, wifey.
And so,
Jason, you said the same thing. Like the students have proven that history has proven the students correct.
That's definitely
every single time. So, these people trying to shut them down, and that's something that you spoke to, these campuses and these schools jumping on the side of the man are just so doing this wrong. They're handling this all wrong. Like, I was like,
it's only been a small number of campuses who've been like, we about to get military force here, right? Like, it's because at this stage, our police forces are military. They got military equipment. They got fucking coming through with tanks and shit. Like,
I think Fordham University called them in.
Right. And somebody on Twitter was like, y'all acting like this is Fallujah. Like, what the fuck? Like, okay, come on. Like, they got book bags. But again, outside agitators, the 1, the 2, the 5, or whatever, move in. Like, seriously, I'm like, figure it out. Again, somewhat simplistic of a perspective on it, but leadership requires figuring this out.
There should be very specific language that is actually so locked in that you're using a script every time you speak on behalf of this movement that you're part of. And that should never say anti-Zionist, because that's not necessary. That isn't part of that doesn't have to be anti-Israel. Like, you got to find what it is and stick to the script, and anyone out of that needs to be taken out.
Right. And that speaks to, again, if you've done your homework on the 60s, right? And I'm going back to that because I was
there.
Okay. Best example of, we have a structure to this. We have a flow to this. We've been meeting. We met in advance. And I'm not saying the students didn't do that, but there are models on how to get this done. And correct me if I'm wrong about civil disobedience. You expect there are going to be consequences, right? Like, you're in certain times, like they're sitting at the lunch counter or walking down the street, you were getting arrested bail money was ready, right? There was a team. They're like, this is how this is likely going to play out. Now, in this era, my black ass, I've been like, look, I might throw y'all a fist, I might carry like a sign, but as soon as security's like, girl, I'm like, you know what, bitch gotta graduate, so I'm sorry, I gotta go. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and no hate to someone who's like, I'm with y'all, but like, you know, I gotta go.
That is that to a certain extent, that's the perspective, because y'all read me for filth. Y'all made a point. I got it. I'm taking the point. Y'all like how the fuck they like what you thought it was supposed to be? Kumbaya, we just sit around and fucking braid each other's hair and say, yeah, it's really bothering me, but girl, let's get the hair braided. Point taken. Yeah, I guess the difference is what the two of you have kind of just spoken on is it does seem to be a little disorganized.
That
But
happens.
at the same time, that may be the point, to just, again, to make everybody uncomfortable, stir things up. I mean, it's hey, if nothing else, I mean, it's working, because at Brown, the students didn't that Brown, they talked to the faculty, and they were able to, they said basically we're going to vote on it the next time we have a vote.
But this is what I'm saying, right? Me
Yeah.
to hear them out, and even if you're like, we still gonna do what we doing, excuse me, at least you heard them out, right? Like,
Yeah, if you just punt it down the field, but you don't. Here's the thing: disregard is the highest and lowest form of disrespect. So if you are not going to engage with it at all, like shut up, get off our campus, shut up and dribble, then you're going to get more of this. Like during our uprisings, when people were saying similar things like, well, you know, y'all burning down stuff and blah blah blah. I was like, you know, the weird thing is I'm not a pacifist, but I'm definitely anti-violence.
Yeah.
So I'm a guy that will absolutely fight back, knowing I'll get my little ass whooped. That's just how I am. But I won't start a fight with anybody.
Yeah.
On the other side of that, what you guys are asking us to do is sit around in churches and sing Kumbaya and do it quietly, so that you can continue to ignore it the way that you always have. So it, unfortunately, man, without it, because what you would be doing is like, if we were doing that, not only would you not give a fuck, you wouldn't even know it was happening if we made it convenient. We've been asking nicely for, in our case, a couple 100 years.
Jason, I support the disruption. I'm just saying, like, there's ways
They need to get it together.
Even during the 60s, not everybody was on the same page. Look, Martin Luther King Jr. was handling shit in a different way from Malcolm X. Okay, so there were different perspectives on how this should work. Again, thank God we are able to do that. And so back to my second bigger picture, and then I promise we are fucking moving on, because we might be on Drake and Kendrick for like 45 minutes. Is mess around and let the orange fascists in office put up a tent. Put up a fucking tent.
Did you see his comment on it? He said the way they went in there and arrested those people, they arrested over 300 people, right? He said it was beautiful. He said he called it beautiful.
Yeah, the Trump. Yeah,
he called it beautiful, and I'm like, yeah, that's not the right answer either. Can somebody tell me who made this? Somebody made this quote, and I don't know it verbatim, but I heard it last week. Somebody said, riots are the voice of the oppressed when they are unheard. I just heard that on NPR. I can't remember who said
Martin Luther King.
It was Martin Luther King. It was Martin Luther King.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's a paraphrase, but yeah.
Tony's comment said this in BLM, were organic, no centralization or structure. The civil rights movement was organized and strategic. Eventually, it got there, right? Like, it's there again. I'm sure there were like pockets, and then it's like, okay, let's pull together. Look, they brought MLK and like, yeah, we don't heard about you and your preaching. Can you come through here? And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it moved into something that was more structured. So, and again, taking all of this in. So I want us to be able to continue to peacefully protest. I want that. I want that for this country. And somebody else will shut that shit down. And look, us out here talking our shit, Antoine, hell, we might get a knock on the door from the motherfucking FBI if that man makes it back in office. So, yeah.
Well, not the FBI, because he hates them, but I hear you.
I also think it's not, there's some irony in that, people, we're asking people to peacefully protest a genocide. So, you know, when you think about it that way, it's kind of like if you going hard in the paint, standing 10 toes in it, it's like I'm fucking protesting violence against other people, so there might be some violence during my protest. You know,
here's the thing. And then it's like, okay, yeah, but I got a tank on my side, so you want to come out in these streets throwing a bottle at me? Bet this is how this is gonna play out. So again, I'm just saying in terms of reality, like let's whatever. But moving on. Speaking of battle.
Go ahead.
What were you about to say, Jason?
No, I was just I don't even remember. I'm shutting up. Go for it. Oh no, you know what? I'm gonna say it's a really short one. So sorry. You know, yeah, those memories that pop up on Facebook, and it's like, you said this 10 years ago today or whatever. And I saw one of mine that literally said,
I'm scared.
How in the fuck? No, it's a short one. How in the fuck can you say violence is never the answer when violence formed the question?
Yeah. True.
And like, I'm answering your shit. I'm responding. Learn the difference between with action and reaction. I'm reacting to you. It's not me.
True.
So that's it. I'm done. I'm shutting up. Go. Rap, hip hop. I'm fucking Infinity Wars of hip hop, nigga. These are Infinity Wars. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's all good. Sorry. Hi, people in the chat. What's up, Militia? I haven't got a chance to shout some people out, but hi, y'all. Speaking of battles, is what I was trying to say. I'm rocking my Nas t-shirt on purpose. So, Kendrick dropped Euphoria at, was it 8:24 a.m., which is significant for a reason, which I haven't figured out yet. So if somebody knows, please tell me. But 6 minutes and 24 seconds of straight up fuck you, Drake.
Crescent had an orgasm, I'm sure, when she was listening to it.
Man.
You're a bigger hater of Drake than Kendrick is, nigga.
He brought it on himself. So this is what he get. Okay. So
came by it honest.
I said this before when he dropped push-ups. I was like, Kendrick is going to annihilate your ass, and I cannot wait. And that is what has since happened. So just the name of it, Euphoria. So for those who don't know, Drake is a producer on that show. Also, it is a show that, has gotten a lot of flack for sexualizing teenagers, extreme sexualization of teenagers, because there's a lot of sex on the show, a lot of crazy sex. And Drake is known for dating young ladies. So I'm just, just layers upon layers upon layers. Then he goes, this is how we kick off. Know you as a master manipulator and a habitual liar too, but don't tell no lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you. Then from there, we just go. So quick overview. Kendrick accuses Drake of being an inadequate father to his son. We've heard this before. He mocks his Toronto slang. Sure. Jeers at his rumored plastic surgery. Ha 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 ha. Alludes to him being a snitch. Calls back to past beefs. Drake has remained mum about, and even comes for Drake's whole identity, questioning his blackness, right? Then faves. Okay, actually, and I think Antoine, this is the first one. Then he channels DMX's famous Breakfast Club interview. So
I hate the way you walk. I hate the way you talk.
I'll say it while you're pulling up. So he says, I hate the way you walk, the way you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you sneak this. Now, I know where that came from because, that's a classic.
Yep.
Now, why don't you like Drake?
I don't like anything about Drake.
Mom,
I don't like his voice. I don't like what he talks about. I
be trying to tell these people.
I don't like the way he talks. Nothing. I don't like his haircut.
That's terrible.
I'll just stop right there.
Now, why don't you like Drake?
Lord Jesus. Let this
So-
man.
Hey, man.
This man.
So, and then just as an FYI, DMX later apologized. So we're clear. Then the next video is a black man screaming. Now, this is just hilarious for me. That's all. Also reminiscent of, and I don't know how many people have seen this clip before. Colin said, that's why he won the Pulitzer. I know. Thank you. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to. There's there it is.
Oh.
So I get him from the beginning.
It's hair, whack. It's gear, whack. It's jewelry, whack. His foot stance, whack. The way that he talks, whack. The way that he doesn't even like to smile, whack. Me, I'm tight as fuck. His hair.
I don't know. I that made me think about mental illness, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, you know what? I don't know the origin of that, but I've seen it before. But just in relation to this track, I was fucking in tears. So there's that. Then he continues after he talks about how much he hates the way, you know, his whole essence. He's like, if I catch a flight, it's going to be direct. We hate the bitches you fuck because they confuse themselves for real women. Notice I say we, and not just me. I'm with the culture feeling.
I didn't understand that one. I didn't understand how the women he's dating catches strays. Their integrity is being challenged. I don't get that one. Is Rihanna included? I don't understand that one. Like, can you explain it?
Jason, did you want to?
I did not get that one. I don't know why the women catching strays for dating Drake.
I mean, he doesn't mention a lot of them by name, but I think that he's alluding to the fact that he just sees most of them as just little groupie ass thoughts, misspelled thought, a THOT, like, you know what I mean? Like they have thoughts and prayers, then you have tots in pairs, or you get thoughts in pairs, like two of them at a time. So he sees them like that. He mentions it later because he mentions Sexy Red.
Another interpretation is because they confuse themselves with real women. He's talking about you date underage girls. They're literally not real women yet.
When has he dated underage girls? I don't have proof of this. The women I've seen him date they got big booties. They look like they've been eating good for at least 21 years. I ain't never seen him date underage girls. He had an issue with Millie Bobby Brown. People thought but he wasn't dating her. He was trying to mentor her, and people thought it was weird, but he wasn't trying to date her. So I'm just saying this line makes no sense to me.
Well, again, these are the rumors. So that's one, right? Millie Bobby Brown.
Wait. Let's be clear. There's no rumor about Drake dating Millie Bobby Brown. That is not true.
There was a rumor about that. Or that, I'm sorry, not that they were dating, that he was possibly grooming her. That's what the rumor was, that he was trying to groom her.
Yeah, I think that was just a rumor. I don't believe that.
You know who Kyla is?
Kyla?
The little youngster from South Africa?
That's Tyler.
Tyler. You know who she is, right? She's a colored girl, as they call her and Trevor Noah and them in South Africa. Yes, colored. She actually literally, I saw a clip of her some time ago or whatever. And she was like, yeah, she's like, I'm glad my clip went viral and I got big like this. She's like, I knew that as soon as I did that Drake would come at me, and showed the tweet. And she might be a grown woman, but she looks like she's about 15. So I don't know, like he did get at her. I think that any like pretty little girl has a shot at, they think they all have a shot at them. It might have been an allusion to that. It might have been some weird transphobic thing. I don't know what he was saying.
She's saying that Drake hollered at her.
She showed the tweet where Drake hollered at her, sir.
I think she
shared it.
Well, because to be clear here, she is not Drake's type. If you look at all the women that Drake has dated, Tyler is not his type. He like big old asses. Tyler is a tiny little thing. So if he was giving up,
I don't know nothing about Drake's love life. The only thing I know about Drake's love life is about the working woman that he has the kid with. I don't know much about what he does.
She got a big old ass too.
Yeah, 824 is Kobe. Thank you. I thought so because I saw a clip about that, but I was like, I was like,
but what is Kobe, Tony? What is Kobe or Crody? What are those things?
Kobe Bryant, 8 and then 24 and Laker and like LA stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Oh, and that's the timing. That's the timing. That's what was important.
8:24 a.m. is when he dropped the track. So just because I want to clear this up, because Genius.com usually tries to provide some interpretation. So that's what I was saying. And they do say this, Antoine. While there's been no solid proof, but rumors have been floating since 2010. He in 2018, though, apparently, allegedly, seems like, he dated this 18-year-old model named Bella Harris. And there's pictures of them like hanging out together. So the whole she seems of age, but you
just said she was an 18-year-old model. Now 18 is young to me, but that is of age. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I was like, they made a rule. As long as he sticks to the rule, we can all mind our business. We might not agree with it, but He's
How
actually,
old was B?
so a lot of
How
people
old
like
was
to put their toe
Beyonce?
on the
How old was
line.
Beyonce when Jay got with
Oh,
her?
problematic.
Or
But
Aaliyah and Jay.
again, if you want to date motherfuckers 15 years your junior, you gonna get clown. Sorry to this man. So it is what it is.
And y'all, please do not misinterpret my my challenges here as support
As
for Drake.
defense.
I'm just trying to be fair. If you say something hot, as opposed, I'll give you an example. Because in my opinion, Megan has sunned all these niggas' responses. It was clear, concise, direct. There was no question. You knew exactly what she was talking about. She had the video to go along with it. It was a perfect storm. For me, there's confusion. I don't like that. I like to know exactly what's happening, and I want it to be factually based.
That's why I was like, Kendrick is coming, like the layers upon layers. Like this could be a class. This fucking
Callum's right.
class, because there's so much in it. Like it is all for him, which, then
Callum's right though. Callum's like J. Cole dropped out. It's like that movie where Homeboy's like, you don't want no parts of this.
we
He
that's
didn't
on the
want
show
no
flow.
parts of it.
We don't hit that. It's on the show flow. Promise.
Okay.
So, but Antoine, here's the thing. I don't mind you asking, right? Like, because like I said, I have Genius open right here. I'm like, yeah, I don't know exactly what he's talking about, but if it's Kendrick, he didn't just say some shit, okay? Like that's not Kendrick. Every single word, there's a reason for it.
I know what his reason is. I just I don't know. I when it comes to accusing people of dating underage women, like that's a strong accusation. I don't know. That's strong. That's like calling
But
somebody
he might
racist.
not. That might not even be what he's saying though. That might not be what he's saying.
I didn't take
stuff,
that from it. That's what other people are saying. I didn't get that when I heard it.
So again, we don't know, right? Because he didn't say it, but that's one possible interpretation. The other one is because a lot of people got, BBLs, a lot of people got, so they're not real women. Again, I don't know. I did see a tweet that said, this is Kendrick. It was a picture of Eddie Murphy looking skeptical, like, oh, really? Somebody was like, this is Kendrick reading about what he wrote on Twitter. It's like, oh, that's what I meant? Okay. So, and then also, we never talked about this, Antoine. We've been trying to keep up with the beefs. We've been doing our best. But ever since Kendrick kicked this shit off, well, technically, Cat Williams. But ever since Kendrick more recently got it popping. So Drake released a second response called Tailor Made Freestyle just a few days later after Push-Ups, which honestly, whoosh. And that was, he used
I
AI.
didn't see it here.
Yeah, exactly. He used AI-generated verses from Tupac Shakur and currently alive, Snoop Dogg, to West Coast legends, right? The one that I think it's actually been pulled from social media because Tupac's estate was like, so what you not gonna do is pull him into this, so kill that. So I don't even know if it's easily accessible anymore.
It's not. And what's funny about it is it's been replaced by an AI song using Tupac and Snoop where they are trashing Drake in AI voices. And that one is readily available on YouTube.
So, look, Sarah's in the chat. Sarah, you might appreciate this next reference to what I didn't know what Crody meant until I saw this tweet. Antoine, if you want to pull up the next, the next quick video. Sarah also said a lot of ways to interpret fake women. So
yes, for sure. So here you go.
All the cats in the background too. That's a good look. Yeah, that's my cat right there.
Maybe for all the, you did it for all the dogs. Maybe
this is
next,
for all the cats.
This is for all the cats.
Yeah, that's my cat's name is Crody.
You have a cat as well? Karate?
Crody.
Crody.
Crody. You gotta say it like that though. Crody.
Crody.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers to Crody.
I'm also a cat daddy.
Yeah, so cat.
I am, as we all know, I am.
Kendrick says, "Don't speak on the family, Crody. It can get deep in the family, Crody. Talk to me and talk about me and my family, Crody. Someone going to bleed in your family, Crody. I may be a new hoe. This is a lot. I be at New Ho King eating fried rice with a dip sauce and a blammy, Crody. Tell me you're cheesing fan. We can do this right now on the camera, Crody." So there's that.
Well, you know why he called him Crody, right? He said, your cat is named Crody, so I'm going to call you Crody because you a pussy. That's where it's from. Yeah, just... To be fair here, people, I am not a fan, and this is being full disclosure. my opinion of some of these rappers and their style of rapping, aesthetically, I'm not necessarily a fan. That does not mean I think they are bad rappers. I've never been a big fan of the lyrical miracle rappers. Because when I hear Kendrick is and you do it and then I'm
That's what I hear.
here. And so that when I hear the other ones, like it's like I'm from Chicago, so I like it when people rap fast, but when you listen to Twista rapping, he's like a hi-hat on a drum machine. It's syncopated, it's chopped up, and it's riding the beat. When I listen to Kendrick, it's all over the place. Now, that doesn't mean I think he's a bad rapper. Just aesthetically, phonetically, sonically, it doesn't speak to me. So it's not going to jump out at me when he says something over the top or disrespectful, partially because a lot of what he says, clearly from our discussion here, a lot of what he says goes over my head. And that's why I prefer shit. Like, and some people could say you ain't deep enough. That's why you can't take it because he's a poet. And I get that. But I do like it with diss records. I like them to be clear, direct, and concise. That's why I think his is still the diss record of the year. Because there's no question.
You made that clear, and you're not alone. One of my friends, I keep sending him tweets. He's like, I'm not into this. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I am, because this shit is awesome.
Yeah.
Before I continue, Jason, just broadly, overall, what was your response to it?
To the song?
Yes.
The song is good. I'm a huge Kendrick fan. Of the big three, Kendrick is my favorite as an artist. I think I'd said this in the things before. As an MC, as a rhymer, Kendrick's not fucking with Cole. Drake's not fucking with Cole. Cole's the strongest actual lyricist and rapper out of the three of them. Drake is the most popular out of the three of them by a long shot. And Kendrick is the greatest, kind of most creative of all of them by a long shot. I prefer Kendrick shit. Say again?
I said he won a Pulitzer.
What'd you say?
Kendrick won a Pulitzer.
Oh no, that's cool. And that's for writing. So a lot of people that write have, but we're talking about music. A lot of writers have won Pulitzers, and they are not making hit records that people are banging. I love what Kendrick does. Even for LA, I kind of prefer Schoolboy Q because I know what the fuck he's talking about all the time. Just me, but I do like Kendrick a lot. I don't think speaking to what Antoine was just saying though, I don't want to have to dig through what you're saying to get say it from your chest. You want to say it. You have the ability to say it in English. You're good with the language. I got a lot of it. A lot of it was crystal clear, and I loved it. But I understand what Antoine's saying. So if you go back to like Common and the bitch in you and the way he came at Ice Cube, it's like straight, rock, solid, nobody in that room, or even not that far back, even Jay and Nas. You might not have liked one or the other, but you can't mistake, nigga, you look like a camel versus I left condoms on the baby seat. These are things that anybody listening understands. And if you're going at something, like I don't think Drake knows about 4.5 minutes of that 6 minutes of what the fuck was being said.
Oh no.
He was like, wait, what?
He dissected every single motherfucking bar because he's trying to figure out what he's gonna do next.
What to do.
But when your fan base, when you know your fan base enjoys that type of layered content, then you give the fans what they want. That's why I will never get on the platform and say Kendrick Lamar is not a good rapper. I would be an idiot to say that. He's very creative. It's just like, again, I said what I said before.
Right. I don't think anybody's saying that part, but I understand. Like another kind of, I think it's sports dude, but like super intellectual, commentator dude was like, it's dense. It is dense. It's not, you're not playing that shit in the club. You know what I mean? Like that's not what this is. But here's what I love about it is that it's different. It's a motherfucking different.
Never tired.
Right? Yeah. Hey Nev. So
they've been on tour. They've been on tour together. The nigga look. The nigga was good enough for you to do an interlude and go on tour with, but now you just shitting all over him. They flip.
He started it. Drake started it.
Why do y'all always say Drake started this? They have all of them say they're the best one, and then they get more and more disrespectful as you move forward. And I don't believe any one single one did it. If you want to be honest, the person that I feel kicked it off was Kendrick on that Control verse. Because Kendrick is disrespectful. Kendrick disrespected Big Sean on his own song, and the nigga didn't even put it on the album. It was the best song from that batch of music that he put out. So, but to be fair, that is what rap is. And
Okay,
again,
okay.
these are the most. This is the closest thing we have to conscious rappers in the ether right now. They don't fight each other. They just talk shit about each other on vinyl, and I am perfectly okay with that. You should be disrespectful against these niggas and keep telling them you the best. That's what
That's
rap
what you're
is
supposed
about.
to do.
Yeah, but
Again.
you know, I don't like it. The only thing I don't like it when they bring women and wives
Collateral
and babies
damage.
and shit into it. I don't like that.
Okay,
I like you
okay,
talk
again,
about that nigga. Don't talk about
I'm
the women
sure-
he dating.
I'm sure Aubrey did some Aubrey shit because that's what he fucking does. Okay, even though I was a hardcore Drake fan for the longest, but this dude right now, I don't like him. So, and to both of y'all point, Pusha T's like that this still to this day for me, I'm still clutching
Yeah.
my pearls, right? And we talked about it a couple shows ago. M's count different when Baby divides the pot. Oh, wait, right? And then he keeps going. He was like, Sophie knows better. No, Sophie knows better as your baby mother. Cleaned her up for IG, but the stench is on her. A baby's involved. It's deeper than rap. All that kicked off because Drake mentioned Pusha T's fiance. Drake started that. So Pusha T was like, okay, bet. We talking about people in our lives. Okay, let's go.
It's all
So,
disgusting.
I hope there's a secret meeting that they're having where they just drop a 3-record set with Kendrick, Cole, and Drake all on albums together and just drop the tour tickets the same day and watch $250 million roll in. Just watch. Now I'm not saying that's what's happening. That was always a dream of mine for like 5 years. I've been always wishing that would happen.
No, and again, I still stand by. Drake ain't been right since Pusha T's this, but that's just me. So moving on. So Rick Ross has responded, and Antoine, we have that. I think that's in order.
Yes.
We skipping over the other.
Okay.
And then the way Kendrick ends the track is, Pete, I think Rosenberg said the way Kendrick ends the song is almost irresponsible. But yeah, so Rick, this is Rick's comment, Rick's response.
Boy, white boy, white boy. Crody, Crody, Crody. Do they even have Wi-Fi on that cargo plane? He may not even heard this yet, but look, white boy, I know we not friends, but let me give you this advice, because you ain't got nobody around you. Or you ain't got no real niggas around you. Let me just put it like that. Ain't no real niggas. Stop. Don't respond. Don't respond. You ain't even peeped when the intro came on with the Teddy Pendergrass. That was that black vibe. Don't do it. Don't go write a 8-minute verse that, I know, nigga, Yachty, I know you want to get that money. You ain't wrong, nigga. Keep buying them big houses, but I'm going to tell you this like a real nigga. Ain't no more BBLs. Ain't no more ass fillers. Ain't no more cheek fillers.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Again, if I can state this, we're not friends. He's a white boy, but nigga, you have 45 songs with this nigga. They turn on each other at the drop of a dime. That's the funniest part to me is that
I don't even like him, Ross.
It's just funny to me. It's just he talks like he has never fucked with this nigga before. They have enough material to have 3 Watch the Throne albums with all the songs they've done together. But now he a white boy with a BBL. Nigga, you need to be more discerning about who you rap with. But it was funny nonetheless.
The moment has presented itself and he got some jokes, and so bet.
Rick Ross is a consummate opportunist. So once you know what you're dealing with, you can giggle at it. Because I'm telling you right now, this nigga will release a song with Drake again before he leaves this planet. They will be rapping together again. They sound really good together.
I mean,
they make good songs together.
I don't really like Rick Ross. That shit was fucking funny. So look, I love how Ernest is like, what is Rick talking about? See, right, it's a lot to keep up with. Trust me, I know this. The whole cargo plane shit. He said Drake's plane wasn't. He didn't have a real private plane. He has some.
He said it was his private plane. So they were playing the dozens. So he said Ross said that Drake's private jet is actually like a reconditioned cargo plane that like they deliver FedEx packages on and shit. He was like, if the oxygen drops, do they even have the mask in that motherfucker? Because it wasn't built for humans to ride in it. So that's why he kicked this off and said, did he even know what's happening? Do they have Wi-Fi on that motherfucking jet?
Also, when he mentioned Yachty, because, you know, allegedly Drake has ghostwriters and allegedly Yachty is one of them. So I'd ask about who did Rick's teeth. Oh my God, we haven't talked about this, Antoine. We got to talk about this at some point. They letting people just do tutorials to do like the not dentures,
the veneers. I watched that woman's video, the woman with the short blonde hair. I don't know how we both saw that at the same. Did you send that to me?
No, because I haven't seen that one. I saw another one.
This woman said she went back to the woman who did her veneers, and the lady was like, I'm scared to pull, because she said it's too painful, you got to take them out. And she said, girl, I'm scared if I pull them out, it's going to pull your real teeth out. And then the woman said, I'm in so much fucking pain. Give me the tool. And she started pulling on it, trying to pull the veneers.
No. I saw a different one. I saw one where it's an infomercial for like this person who's like, I can teach you how to put veneers on.
On an infomercial? Nigga, I don't want to put my own fucking veneers on. What do I look like?
No. They're training techs. Like if I'm like, okay, I know how to do it. So I've set up now a course for, you and Antoine to come through, for a good $9.99. You know what I'm saying? Just cool G. I can teach you how to go off and be in the world, setting up people for their own veneers.
This sound like silicone booty shots to me, because
it's the same thing.
I'm not cool with that. Nah.
Silicone booty shots in your living room. Okay, like if somebody
in your mouth though. In your mouth. No, thank you. Hard pass, cousin. And somebody tell Rick Ross, don't make a perfect circle like that around your mouth in your beard. That shit look mad like entry. Don't do the whole circle. Like let the little piece, the little flavor saver part come up. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Like don't do that.
Okay, we gotta.
You already dye your beard, nigga, and you're only 40-something years old, nigga. Just don't make the perfect circle thing, please.
Tell me, Antoine's talking about the dyeing and the beijing. What's it called?
And the rose blooms. This nigga had the rose bloom. I was like, please.
The rosebud. Get it right.
I don't want to get it right.
Okay, wait. We gotta pause. Sarah M. Is Sarah M a new viewer? Hey, girl, hey.
I think so.
Hey, the tea I have on Drake. He's a fucking creep. Okay.
This is a safe space, Sarah M.
It is.
Spill it.
Speak your piece, girl.
Ish.
Is it? No,
but for the viewers, it's all alleged.
Yeah, alleged. You got alleged.
And remember, when I choose silence, I ain't had nothing to do with what these niggas said in the chat.
Oh, come on, man.
Find they fucking YouTube channels and let them know I didn't say shit. I'm trying to be democratic here, but it's a Drake hate-a-thon right now, and I'm choosing not to participate.
I have to say. Oh, don't do it. Not with the. I have to say this though. I'm not a Drake hater. I was a huge fan in the early days. I don't know if you guys remember when Kanye had that fake website where he pretended he had great taste, but there was two other brothers running it for him.
Yes,
and it was a brilliant website. They had great taste, and that's where I first heard Drake. And I was a huge fan. Mixtape days before he got signed. I haven't heard a Drake song on purpose since those days, really. But it isn't because I don't like Drake. It's just not my type of. Like you said, there's really no bad music. There's just shit I'm not into, and Drake makes music I'm not into.
I literally, when I used to still put together playlists, Drake all up and down there. Like
I don't know his music like that.
Right, that's cool. But for me, Drake made club bangers, car bangers, like for real. And then he would do his little emo thing, and I'd be like, okay, it's you being Aubrey. It is what it is, whatever. But this Drake, that last album is not good. Like, be clear. That last album he put out, what the fuck is this? What you doing? Why you dialing it in?
Some people argue that Kendrick's last album was trash as well. I mean, everybody catch an L every now and again. It was not well received.
I mean, if Justin Timberlake can fall off. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm be honest with y'all, full disclosure, I have never purchased a Kendrick product and I have never purchased a Drake product. So I'm the wrong person to ask about either one of them. Drake is forced on me to a certain extent. And the things that I have heard, every now and again I hear something, I'll be like, that's a bop. Kendrick's, which song is it? The one, is it the Black of the Berry? Is that one? Is that the one where it's like real dramatic? He did the performance at the Grammys. I love that song. But yeah, I heard Swimming Pools. When I heard Swimming Pools, I was like, what is this about? I don't know what's happening here.
Oh,
And
you didn't like Swimming Pools?
Everybody's like, man, he talking about alcohol and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, as an alcoholic to a certain extent, if I hear a fucking song that's about being an alcoholic and I don't know what the fuck it's about, yeah, I'm not your audience. Your shit going over my head, and that's okay.
I'll make you a mixtape, Antoine, because I love you. I'll send you a Kendrick mixtape. Going back to mixtape days, I promise.
About Kendrick, people not liking Kendrick's last album. I don't feel like Kendrick changed like kind of who he is, how he flows. Kendrick don't land for everybody. I get that. Like that's kind of consistent, honestly. And maybe he went a little more highbrow, whatever the fuck it is. When I say Drake album was not good, I'm just straight up baseline bars or beats are trash bars. I'm like, what is this? You literally just phoned this in. I would never say Kendrick phoned some shit in. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't. And also for me, Drake seems like he's still trying too hard to hang with the youngins. I know these comments are right.
Wait, what?
We're talking about why veneers done in somebody's living room, okay? Like,
oh, okay. Jesus Christ! I was like, where did that comment? Because I can't see the comments, so they're coming up late. I was like,
I'm vaccinated.
Hey Karen, it looked like he might go with his homegirls and get that bleach some days, huh? Like right in that circle, huh? Wax and bleach, bro. It'll look cool. He should do that. I don't like Ross. I don't care for Ross. I like his music. I don't like him.
Okay. And just just because I used to fuck with Drake, God's plan, work, fucking problems, and my feelings, hotline bling one day. Like, I mean, it's he has had bangers. I don't know what he's doing right now, but whatevs.
That hotline bling video is everything. So it's nice for what, like.
Nice.
That's the one where he's dancing. He hired the girl the girl in the end with the big
where he's dancing in the room.
The girl in the end choreographed the video. Yeah, he's dancing in the room with the lights. But also remember, he stole that fucking song from the nigga that made Cha-Cha? What's the dude's name? I forget his name. That
Cha-Cha
dude.
The Cha-Cha now? The dance, the wedding.
No, in the chat, y'all, what's the name of the nigga that made the song that he used the sample, found the sample, made a song that did well, and then Drake heard the song and repurposed the beat. And dude
I remember
was
that.
Like,
I remember reading about that.
I can't remember his name because
Does that sound like a stand-up guy? Does that sound like a stand-up dude who does those things, Antoine? I'm just asking. I'm just asking questions. Okay, so moving on. J. Cole, as Antoine and I, as Antoine and I have talked about.
Stop with the veneers.
As Antoine and I have talked about repeatedly, J. Cole. First of all, J. Cole was training yesterday because, again, cats are like, he did the best thing by removing himself. He released that track on Friday, had 2 days to think about it. By Monday, he was like, you know what?
He's like, nah. He's like, nah, I'm cool. I'm cool.
And it's funny to reread what he said. He said, this is when he decided, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He's like, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a fucking mic? Dreamville, y'all love Kendrick Lamar, correct? As do I. So I just want to come up here and publicly be like, bruh, that was the lamest, goofiest shit to me, talking about his own track. It made me feel like 10 years ago when I was moving incorrectly. Because, J. Cole was like, you know what? I don't want it. I'm good. I don't want it.
I feel like he knew, okay, this is something that people really consider this. And I guess, you know when we had these nuanced discussions about colorism, I always think that you can't, when people just say, yeah, light skin and advantage and you blah, blah, blah. I think you can't divorce colorism from featureism. And what I mean by that is Naomi Campbell is dark chocolate. So is Whoopi Goldberg. Those two women have very different experiences throughout life, but both of them are dark brown. Because one of them has features, despite the fact that she's dark brown, her features are more in sync with a European standard of beauty than the other one. So to me, you can't separate the two. Drake and J. Cole are both half white, and both of them were raised by their white mothers. But J. Cole is received differently from how Drake is received. Now, some people say that's because he's Canadian. J. Cole may not be as aggressive when it comes to his career and the money-making endeavors and things of that nature. Maybe he's more, his feet are more planted in the culture, grounded in the culture. You could say whatever you want, but it's almost like Jay knew that this battle was going to move into a space that called everybody's blackness into question based on a bunch of different factors, perhaps that J. Cole knows that he shares with Drake, which would also force him to have to answer some of these same questions that, not even questions, but criticisms that Kendrick made on this song, because we didn't even get that far because it would take 2 hours. But when he said, I don't even like it when you say the word nigga, and I'm like, well, J. Cole is half white and he says nigga all the time too.
So you're saying J. Cole backed out because he don't want to lose his N-word card?
I guess to a certain extent, it was like he knew this was going to move into a space that questioned everybody's authenticity as black men, and he shares a lot of fucking attributes with Drake just on the surface. And he would have had to answer to these things.
Also, you got to remember, dude, J. Cole rides a bicycle
I know.
in a big city. He has to keep safe. You can't just be
I
all willy and nil.
I have a tweet referencing that. So give me 1 second. But to answer your point, there's been a lot of commentary about what Kendrick is really getting at in terms of like calling Drake out about his fucking blackness. And part of it is the way he trades on it and the way he seemingly moves in and out of the culture. So, but again, I don't have a full depth of it, but there's been a lot of commentary about that. So J. Cole, someone said J. Cole feeling the rain on his skin and no one else can feel it for him. Sorry.
What is that?
Here's the other one.
J. Cole somewhere on that bike with the wind against his face, feeling grateful.
Oh. Do you know who Madison McFerrin is?
No.
Madison McFerrin?
Yeah.
Oh,
Bobby McFerrin's daughter.
Yes,
she makes music.
The daughter and the son I listen to all the time.
Yeah, Taylor McFerrin lives around the corner, and so does Madison. They live right near us. But she put a post up today like.
That's literally the one I'm looking for. That.
Oh, then I'll be quiet. Yeah. Because she and I are friends, so I was like, that was fun. And she judged. I like how she ranked the things, but you're pulling it up. I'll shut up. I didn't know you were looking for that. I didn't know you knew about it.
Oh,
I have it here. I have it here.
No, I didn't. I don't think I sent you that one.
Yes, you did. I'll put it on the screen.
Okay, it just wasn't in order.
Yeah.
So is this the one you were talking about, Jason?
Yeah.
So Madison.
She said.
Go ahead. You can read it.
No, you read it. I can't see it. It's too little.
She said, hilarious. For the record, I'm a J. Cole biracial, not a Drake biracial. Got to distinguish ourselves today.
And people came at her. So she had to do an Instagram follow-up because people came at her talking shit, and she ranked her top 5. Somebody was like, that's not the flex that you think it is. She's like, it wasn't a flex. It was a joke. It was like,
it was a joke.
Like, yeah, it was like, y'all just be trying to find something. I found myself like criticizing myself about that in what I'm doing. I'm like, I think you people think that I come in here looking for something negative or mean to say, and I don't. I come in here looking for something funny to say. You guys come in here, I'm talking about on social media, I'm like, you might not like what I'm saying, but I'm not saying it to be mean. I just think shit is funny. I'm like the zinger king over here. You know what I mean? Y'all be coming out looking for somebody to start a fight with when you can't reach them. So people were just coming at her. And she said, somebody wrote, and it was her favorite of the disses that they shot at her. She said, oh no, the biracials is fighting. They done drawn a line in the beige sand. She said, the beige sand. And I sat my light-skinned, for the record, non-biracial ass.
Yes.
By the way, so I don't want to get in their boat with them. I'm going to let them have their thing. But I sat my high yellow ass.
But that's the funny part to me, Jason. It's like, you have this idea, and obviously I told you, I'm inoculated against light-skinned criticism. People can say what they want. It's just going to go in one ear, out the other for me. I don't really care. But this idea that somebody's character, their degree of blackness, or how strong their black card is, can somehow be determined by how much melanin they have in their skin. Because I will tell you, if you look up the word nigga in the dictionary, every fucking
They don't distinguish
DeBarge,
by shade.
every DeBarge is in that photo. El Chico, Bunny, all of them, and they half white. So it's. I understand that a lot of this is in jest, but at the same time, I think there is this thing that exists, because I've told y'all this before. If you take 12 niggas and you put them on a square in the middle of the street and you leave them there for 2 hours, they go divide that square in the north and south. Yeah, them niggas in the south side of the square, they ain't shit. They're gonna find a way to divide one another. Then 2 more hours later, they go divide into north, south, east, and west. Then you go have the Red Bone Gangster Clique on the west side, fight with the Black Betties on the west side, and it's just gonna keep being divided. And politically, culturally, we should be moving more as a unit instead of questioning everybody's blackness. We need all hands on deck.
Again,
so I just find it interesting.
Part of the issue is how people perceive Drake moving with regard to his blackness. So
what about Future? Where does Future fall in that spectrum? I feel like you can't just specifically question Drake when these other niggas are not moving right either. And they don't get questioned in the same way, perhaps because Drake is the most popular one in terms of sales. That perhaps is true, but you can't question how Drake moves without questioning how Future moves.
I don't know if that's what they mean, though, because it sounds like she's talking more specifically about how he moves in and out of whichever culture is the most beneficial at any given moment, depending on which side he is. It sounds like that's what, I don't know, because I've been light-skinned the whole time, but with a jet black interior, nigga. Like, you don't know anybody blacker than me in just the scheme of things, but I am very, very aware of the difference in the way that I'm, like when I used to work for Don, and we would walk into somewhere, and everybody would, all the white folks we did any business with, when they didn't know who he was yet, would automatically defer to my broke ass.
You have to explain who you're talking about, Jason. Everybody, don't assume everybody know who you're talking about.
You said Don? You mean Don?
Cheadle. So I worked.
Yeah,
I did that for 26 years.
Nobody knew you were talking about Don Cheadle. You got to put the last name out there, nigga.
Nigga, if I said Don and I know we talking about dark skinned, then who the fuck am I talking about?
I thought maybe you was Don. I thought it was Don. I thought it was Don from En Vogue. She be moving all over the place.
No, so I'm just saying, like, I am aware, not to talk about that specifically about him, but I'm very aware of the differences in the way that it has nothing to do with how we move. Hey, wait, who is that? Sarah. Oh, it's my Sarah. Hi. Okay. I was like, who's a whole nigga from Venice? But I know. Hi, Sarah. I'm glad you made it. Sorry, guys.
Also, real quick, I shared this with Neff a couple weeks ago. Please go back and look at Angela. I'm sorry, let me get it right. Angela Winbush's video for The Real Thing.
No, don't do it.
Don Cheadle is in that motherfucking video dancing like his rent is dependent on his performance. Don Cheadle.
And you know how he ended up doing that? Debbie Allen made him do it. She's like, so the light-skinned green-eyed guy in there that is not Philip Michael Thomas from Miami Vice.
I know who you're talking about.
Is actually the brother Brad that used to own Georgia, that restaurant Georgia up on Melrose, that soul food restaurant that used to be on Melrose. With that dude, the owner of that is who plays the light-skinned in that one. They wouldn't let me play the light-skinned because I'm not quite as Eurocentric as him. I wanted to play the light-skinned. But Don used to dance, man. When we was rappers, your boy DJ P tried to convince us we should try to be Kid and Play because we could both dance instead of what we were doing. We was doing lyrical miracle raps, Antoine, so you wouldn't have liked it anyway. But we got sidetracked into this nigga's other little side career, and then I ended up just working for him as a fucking also ran for the next couple of decades. But I got my girls through college and shit, so I can't say
so
shit.
long.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead. Antoine was mad at my lyrical miracles. I'm a giddy.
Well, while this conversation was happening, I was trying to find this particular tweet that when someone was talking about an interview that Drake did and how he talked about, honestly, kind of how he identifies, and it seemed to be a little telling. So again, I don't have time because again, this track could be an entire class. So
True.
Kendrick said what he said. What else? Some more reactions. But speaking on this particular topic, some more reactions. Suge Knight entered the chat.
He sure
Antoine,
did.
pull that one up.
Let me find Suge.
Nefertari
Did you use my?
wait, hold on. Nefertari said she thought Don Lemon. What you about to say, Jason?
Nigga, you think I run with Don Lemon? I put her face on the screen. Nefertari know goddamn well I ain't friends with no fucking Don Lemon. Sorry, I like that guy. He's a nice guy.
Dion said, Antoine, now I can't unsee Don Cheadle. Thanks for that.
Who said that?
Dion.
Oh yeah.
No, you got to go in there. They got the orange jumpsuit on, working at the car wash, and he's boogieing and shaking. It's fun.
Also, if y'all get a chance, watch the video for Climax meeting in the ladies' room. Aunt Vivica Fox is in that video. Before they were famous. Check it out. That video will crack you up with the Latino dude in the fucking chair where he looked like he in the electric chair and he pop locking and shit and everybody is dancing around him. It's a weird fucking video.
Lord help me.
As long as you don't look at the Bust a Move video and see my little young 22-year-old ass in the movie theater kicking it or dancing up there with Young back in the good old days. You don't want to do the
now I
Bust a
have
Move
to see
flashback.
it. We're probably gonna kick the next episode off with that clip. Nigga, you should have told us that.
We gonna have to just have it on mute, but we getting these visuals. Okay,
yeah.
Visuals are happening. You shouldn't have told us. Okay.
Nigga, hey man, hip hop been here a long time, bro. I've been here the whole time.
So, okay, moving on. Kendrick said the tweet is Kendrick this burned so bad it got Suge fighting for civil rights from jail. So what Suge said was round one goes to Kendrick Lamar, but youngin', let's stop playing light-skinned people aren't black because the police think otherwise. Black is black. That creates division amongst ourselves, and I ain't fucking with that.
When the fuck? What on what planet do I agree with Suge Knight? God damn it, Suge!
My favorite.
Wait, where is he? Is Suge locked up right now?
Yes.
Jason, hold on.
Why is this nigga tweeting? How is he tweeting?
What is happening? Jason,
Okay.
Pause. My favorite response to this was, I know they ain't who I think it is, but yes,
Jason, he has a whole podcast that he does from jail. You ain't heard about this? Suge Knight has a podcast. When he is talking, the operator comes on and says, "You are now
You're
blah,
getting
blah, blah,
a
blah, blah."
collect call from the CDC and blah, blah.
Yeah, they'll tell you got to put more money in or some shit. Like, that's the funniest part. He's been doing this podcast for months.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yes, Tony, Suge was tweeting on his burner phone. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I used my name Suge Light tonight. You guys didn't put my name up. I put Suge Light as my name.
So then there's a lyric in the song that says, when the track that says, when I see you stand by Sexy Red, I believe you see two bad bitches. So Antoine, if you want to pull up the Sexy Red joint. Then just going back in the chat, Sarah M said, Suge a whole teddy bear. Hilarious. Danielle said Climax doesn't get enough respect. What's up?
For sure.
Bernadette Cooper. Oh my God. One of the best drummers out there. She don't get enough credit either.
Wait, did they do I know they did they do Men All Pause?
Yes, that was Men All Pause is Climax.
You want to hear something terrible, Antoine?
What?
I was going to clubs damn near every night when them songs came on. Y'all niggas was in elementary school. Sweet Jesus.
Jason, from a tech standpoint, do you see that your face is cut off?
Yeah, only on the sideways. On the sideways, it's just my mouth. But I don't know what to do.
Because he's on his phone. He doesn't have a landscape view, so that's all we could do with it.
Oh no, it's okay. All right, I just wanted to make sure he could tell.
Yeah. I don't want him to move though, because I want him to be in the right place when we go back.
Yeah. But I don't know what he's doing right now, but this works. You making the adjustment, Jason. Okay, so all right. So the line again was, when I see you stand by Sexy Red, I believe you see two bad bitches. And then somebody posted this. Kendrick Lamar said this was Drake standing next to Sexy Red. I don't know who.
I've been getting stuck. I've been getting hoes. I've been doing drugs. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. I've been around quick. I've been around black. I've been really sick. I've been fucking back. Hopping on my grind. Let me working on the weekend. If you want this money, baby, then you know how you gon' get it. But the open if you
So which one is Drake and which one is Sexy Red?
Oh, I don't know.
Exactly. That was the point that Kendrick was making. No, somebody else put a clip up today of the two of them together, though, right? In like a Norms or a Denny's or a meeting or some video or something.
They're friends. They hang out all the time. Yeah.
They're cool. Like he, buys her like, shiny shit and they hang out.
He co-signed her immediately. And Nicki is on the Pound Town remix, so she's a Young Money affiliate.
Okay. I don't.
Okay. So
Sarah, I love you.
This is the last one. When Antoine, you mentioned all the different voices that Kendrick has, so that the tweet that says Kendrick Lamar. So if we can pull up that tweet.
She can't even. She's like, I don't hear you, Antoine. Stop it.
I hear him. I'm just like, Antoine said this might be a 2-hour show. Okay, fine, but
which one am I pulling up again?
I know we ought to sync. It's the one before Sexy Red.
Is it Grip Bayless?
No, Less is Mo. Kendrick Lamar hating in 4 different voices.
Oh yeah. Okay. 1 second.
I was looking for something else on here. So
one of my friends posted. I hope that somebody was like, I hope that Kendrick ain't expecting Drake to battle against all them different voices because that's not fair.
It literally is. It's literally 3 songs in one. Here we go.
Soft, overrated, pretty boy, a bitch. Soft, overrated.
The caption
pretty
is
boy. Kendrick
Lamar hating at 4 different voices on this song.
Damn, that's mean. She loved Kendrick. She loved Kendrick.
I love somebody calling Drake out on all his shit. I'm down for it. All right, we can move on. So in politics.
Oh shit, we didn't even start with politics yet?
No, that's what I was like, let's go. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Last thing I'll say, I saw this. Whether or not Drake will issue a musical response to this latest track remains to be seen. This is from an article. In the meantime, he liked a post from an Instagram fan account with the caption, "That's it. You cute." Whatever. Allegedly, there's a 19-minute song that Kendrick has. I don't want to hear that.
I don't think they dropping anything else because Drake done dropped 2. Kendrick dropped 2. I mean, how many? J. Cole dropped 1.
Dropped out.
Yeah, he said half enough.
All right. So moving on in politics. Because I still got a pack. So Trump did an interview with a Times reporter. 2. He did 2 interviews. And so I'm actually just going to try and read this quick summation of it. They did 2 interviews and conversations with more than a dozen of his closest advisors and confidants that were outlines of an imperial presidency that will reshape America and his role in the world, right? So 1, there's a deportation operation designed to remove more than 11 million people from the country. Trump will be willing to build migrant detention camps and deploy the U.S. military, both at the border and inland. Okay, like right here. Also, regarding abortion, he would allow red states to monitor women's pregnancies and prosecute those who violate abortion bans. Because his thing is like, it's up to the states. If that's what they want to do, it ain't up to me. Don't matter what I think. It's up to the states. So thank you. Then he would also, at his personal discretion, have Congress withhold funds. Okay, he'd be willing to fire a U.S. attorney who doesn't carry out his orders to go, I guess, mow somebody down in the motherfucking street. Oh, I'm sorry, that would be the military. So if his U.S. attorney wouldn't actually just go out and arrest all the Bidens, because that's what he wants. He would pardon all the January 6 people, but we already know that. So, and with regards to the Bidens, let me see if I can find this really fast. he's warned that Joe Biden's family could face multiple criminal prosecutions once he leaves office, unless the Supreme Court grants him immunity right now. So if the justice is on the
What?
court,
Yeah, he said that.
He said that. There's words out of his mouth. If the justices on the court, 3 of whom were appointed by him, remember, failed to award him immunity, he said, then Biden, I'm sure, will be prosecuted for all his crimes because he's committed many crimes. He has not. So then
what are they? What are these crimes?
They don't exist. The journalist asked him about political violence if he doesn't win. He said, I mean, if we don't win, it depends. It always depends on the fairness of an election. So I saw somebody was Nicole Wallace. I'll be watching my MSNBC. She had someone on and was asking him about what is this about in terms of him saying all these things, right? And he's been saying them, but this was even more, I think, sobering, to be honest with you. And that guy was like, here's the thing. He's feeling like he's telling y'all what he's planning to do, just in case he does win. He's gonna be like, I got a mandate to do this. I said the things I said. You motherfuckers voted for me. So I have
to do it.
Y'all are cool with it. Y'all don't have an issue with it. I was like, that's a perspective. I thought about it like that. So I think yesterday, the 6-week abortion ban went into effect in Florida. So they've been interviewing a lot of women, and there was one woman who missed the cutoff by a day. She already has 3 children, I believe. And, they're reporting she was sobbing in the office because in Florida, you have to go get an ultrasound before you can do the stuff. There's all these fucking hoops you got to jump through. And basically she missed it by a day. And she was like, I don't know. I don't have the resources to get out of town, to flee, to go handle this. I already have 3 kids. I can't. I don't know what she's going to do. Hopefully somebody gonna swoop in and help this woman with some funds to get the fuck up out of Florida so she can take care of this.
They do have a couple organizations that are designed to help them, but the problem is in the South, if it happens, you have to fly far away because all the adjacent states typically have the same policy or something, similar. So yeah, it's
fine. You gotta take time off your job. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
it's a real hardship.
It is. And so
childcare alone, if you have 3 kids, you have to leave for a week to take care of something.
Right. And what I'm sorry, if a child is molested, a child is raped, a child is assaulted, now they're pregnant, they gonna figure that out in 6 weeks. Literally, like a child, right? So again, this is all horrifying. And I need Trump to not win in November. So vote, please vote. Please vote. Also, with regard to his stupid ass trial, he was fined $9,000, so $1,000 each. So he was found that he had held in contempt for 9 of the 10 violations of the gag order. He was found to have violated 9 of them. So also, though, the judge did say, look, ordinarily somebody who's like a high net worth person, we would possibly keep raising this, but I'm not allowed to do that. So
because in New York, the maximum is 1,000 per person, right? Yeah.
But does he get to keep doing it if he keeps doing it though? Right?
No. So then I was adding. So what he said is, I mean, if jail has to be on the table, if incarceration needs to be an option, so be it, because I can't $1,000
not have control.
Well, yeah, $1,000 don't mean shit to you, allegedly, because allegedly you got a lot of money.
He wants to be thrown in jail,
which is part of the problem, right? Of how
he wants to be in jail. It mobilizes his base. Now he gonna say, niggers out there, we really are just alike.
I mean, so he was back on because today was not, the court is dark today. So he was actually out, not golfing, because the last couple times when he didn't have to be in court, he was out golfing, but complained about, I don't get to campaign. But today he was out campaigning, and he keeps talking shit about the judge, which he's allowed to do. But today, Antoine, he didn't violate anything yet. So just want to mention that. So that's what's going on with, I'm now calling him the Orange Imperialist. I don't know if y'all got anything y'all want to add on to that.
I'm exhausted. I don't even know what else to say about him. I mean, none of this is surprising. He basically has said all this shit already. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just, I mean, if you're paying attention, yes. I'm hoping some of this starts landing with people who have not been paying attention. That is my hope. So
I would be interested in learning statistically what the numbers are for women in red states, how they feel about abortion. That's different from overall, because overall they're like the whole country overall supports abortion, but in the red states, I want to know how the women, in terms of numbers, how that translates overall, just the women.
I'm sure that data is available, and I think it's still
It's
higher.
still
Like,
a majority pro choice.
yeah, I don't think
Every poll I've ever seen everywhere, including the red states, has been majority pro choice. Even people that are anti-abortion, by and large, religiously or whatever, often believe in pro choice, even in those areas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
I
don't know.
just think for this to be, and again, I think that's why he's distancing himself from the issue. He won't answer questions. He just keeps saying it's up to the states, even though we saw what you did with the Supreme Court. That's how we arrived here. But yeah, I don't know how you could possibly, if you're in support of abortion rights, I just don't know how you could be a part of any of this, knowing that he is the person that he was the impetus behind all of it.
I think what
serious.
happens if I think the people that are even contemplating voting for this cat are not at all being reasonable or looking for reasons. They're looking for excuses.
That's
So
true.
when he backs away from saying what he has made very clear as his stance on abortion, which I don't personally believe he has any stances. I believe he's being driven, like somebody got batteries in his back and a puppet master up his ass. But whoever it is, we know what their plan is as far as cutting off any rights to women's choice to what to do with their bodies in this situation. He
Yeah.
knows that he doesn't have to say that out loud. They know what he's down for, the people that want it, because he's done it. He got the courts to where they needed. He bragged in the same time that the first time that he refused to answer that question, he also led with, look what I did in the courts to make this happen. Not
Right.
saying, just saying. So as long as he doesn't say it out loud, the people that are for what he's done against abortion rights are going to be with him, and the people that claim to be pro-choice but are really kind of pro-elitism / race, anti-black, anti-immigrant, they don't have they have the excuse that he didn't say he's against that anymore. He said it's up to the states, when the
That's
reason is
true.
they don't give a fuck as long as they get what they want, which is him.
That's true.
Right. Yeah.
His
and remember,
his stance now is do whatever or say whatever I need to do to win. It doesn't matter whether I believe it or not. And for
That's
people
good.
not to recognize that is just silly.
But again, it's I think Jason, you said that, like, they're just they're in. And
Oh shit, you really froze.
You froze.
Are you doing a robot?
Oh, she
I
back.
know, right?
You back.
I'm
You
like,
back.
Okay,
You good
cool,
now.
I thought he was doing a robot.
See, this is us trying to go 2 hours, and now is my audio messed up, or is that just me?
No, you're fine.
No, your audio's good.
Yeah, he used to vote. He used to be a Democrat for the most part. So
Yeah.
this motherfucker is like, what do I need to say to keep right now to keep the base? That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. What do I need to say? So all right, moving on.
Please give this guy a stroke. Please. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Title, headline: Drew Barrymore wants Kamala Harris to be Momala of the United States. I didn't get it. Yeah, okay, there you go. Sure, go ahead. Let's just hit play.
Roll the clip. Roll the clip.
I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now. Yeah. But in our country, we need you to be Momala of the country. I've been thinking that.
Wait. Because I hadn't watched it yet. I just had the text. Kamala's face. That's that face Black women make when it's like, okay, I'm on camera. I'm sitting across from this well-meaning white woman. I don't like what you said, but okay. So just to say it out loud, she Drew asked Harris if she could serve as Momala while pointing to the ongoing social and economic challenges within the country, along with the tensions with foreign nations. As compelling reasons why the VP should take for a leading role. And you know I love to read from Gossip. But this is just, so she says, sorry, I've been thinking about it. Yeah. I've been thinking that we all really need a tremendous hug in the world right now, reaching and staring into Kamala's eyes with longing. Sorry. And then she reached out, you saw she grabbed her hand and she did look uncomfortable. Kamala Harris did look uncomfortable during that exchange. And then, she gracefully steered the dialogue back on track. And so there was a lot of responses to it. One woman said a couple things here. Kamala Harris is the VP. She's not America's mom. 2, even when Black women serve the mammy role, there's never any room for grace. Just a constant expectation to be everything to everyone all the time. In other words, it's a setup. So that was the other thing too. Some women felt like, here it is. I don't know about the way Drew got all up in Kamala's space to ask her, a Black woman, to essentially be this country's mammy. It is not sitting right in my spirit. White women do this shit all the time, and it's gross, and I'm exhausted.
I just think the mammy thing to me was a stretch. I just think it was corny. I don't think she had ill intention. And when people were saying, when one person was like, now her telling Kamala she want her to go in the kitchen and make her some pancakes and waffles. And I was like, so that's all mothers are good for, is cooking you breakfast? So when I thought about mother, I think she was just like, we need some guidance. Everybody's divided. We need, I thought that's where she was coming from. But I get it. It just was corny to me. And let's be honest here. Drew Barrymore is not a normal citizen. Drew Barrymore was doing cocaine at 9 years old. She is out of touch with reality when it comes to the average American. So I don't think there was any ill intent. I just think, again, she doesn't even realize, because remember she did that shit when everybody was on strike, and she was like, we still gonna keep going forward, and everybody was like, girl, what the fuck is wrong with you? She's just out of touch. I think she's her intentions are good, but yeah, it was weird. It was just a weird thing to say.
I would consider Drew an ally. Karen said Drew is as close as our generation gets to a dippy hippie. Jason?
I don't know. So there was no ill intent. And I think you got to look at intention, like you know what I mean? Always, we talked about this before, like you got to dig through the intention and everything. But like nigga, Kamala looked at her like, why are you touching me though? You're physically touching me. Why are you touching me? The fuck is going on?
That was the second part. First was, what did you say? Second is, why are you touching me?
Yeah, and now you're gonna hold my hands. I gotta like sit here let go of me. Let go. You ever have a friend that like keep putting their arm around you while they're talking to you? You're like, nigga, get the fuck off of me, man. I can hear you. But there was no bad intention. I think also there's some subtext that she thought she was getting into to her fellow white women, which let's be honest, we probably need their help right now because we have not had it. We didn't get it last time the tramp was running, so we need their help. And I think she's like, we need this femme energy at the lead of things. Because this male energy, like she's in a big seat, let her bring the femininity to that seat. But all I'm seeing is like, I can't think of the sister's name, and I love her art. It's at damn, Mama, what's the name of that artist that I love that has a whole room at the Broad?
This is like me sitting.
The artist, the sister whose work I like at the Broad. Kara Walker. Like I'm seeing like those Kara Walker silhouettes of some poor black woman with all of America's white ass lips on her titty trying to feed them when you come at me like that. That's worse than waffles and pancakes. So I thought I'd just stay out of it kind of on a big picture thing because I'm kind of weird like that.
It's okay. I understand where you're coming from. So I wanted to highlight Neff's comment because in case people are not aware, partly where that came from Drew was that Kamala's stepkids call her Momala. So, and
that is relevant here.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody thinks she just made it up. Yeah.
Also,
thank you, Neff.
Danielle noted that someone did do a thread of Drew all up in people's personal space. Again, that is her MO. That is how Drew operates on her show.
I think not just her show. I mean, in her life, I think that she's in a thing where everyone it's like a God complex thing. She doesn't know how normal people act. What was she been ever since? Wasn't she the baby in like E.T. or the Amityville Horror or some shit? Like, ain't she been?
She was.
In movies?
She was Firestarter and the girl and the younger sister in E.T. Is this the artist, Karen Walker?
Yes.
No, Kara
Yes.
Walker.
Okay.
Oh, Kara Walker shit is incredible. Kara. Oh, please.
Kara. Okay, I'm gonna pull up just. So
I thought the one you're talking about is with a C. Cara. The artist you're talking
is it?
about.
Am I?
You know
I
what?
think it's with a K.
I don't know. Actually, now
I just like to have a visual for people to put with it. One of Fio's creative associate created a credible mural.
Put Kara Walker and then put Broad Museum.
I thought that was the right artist. That's what I thought.
I have her here. Let me see.
Okay, now
you can keep going though.
No, I know. I was trying to. There was something in the comments that I was trying to say, but I fucking moved on.
It's okay.
It is okay. Is this one of her pieces?
No, she's not a painter.
Yeah, she's not. That's not. No.
Okay. Fuck it. We not gonna see
Kara Walker. No, you want to see this? Kara Walker Broad Museum.
Yes, it's
Broad.
It's KARAWALKER. So
you want to see it because it'll give you what I'm talking about.
Yes, yes. I honestly, Antoine, I thought what you brought up was her work. Anyway, what I was going to say is this. There's been a lot of commentary. Look, that's part of the reason why I think, people keep asking Michelle Obama to run, Oprah to run. Not because of this whole actually like Momala thing, which is, I don't really like that. But Black women take care of shit. We handle shit. It's exhausting. But we do get it done. So
can you imagine how dangerous that would be for the person that you're talking about? So yeah, those black and whites in the upper right that you were just looking at, scroll back to the top where her picture was. Not that. Go the other way. Those up in the upper right corner are the things we're talking about.
I'm just scrolling down through her work.
Yeah.
This is that kind Twitter account
stuff. Yeah. That's the kind of like she does these silhouettes that are very kind of based in the old Baroque style stuff, but it's very weird, surrealistic how white folks see us and have treated us, things like that.
Oh, this one. That's one by the tail. The tail.
She has a whole room of her own at the Broad that's been there since they opened it. They have not changed, no matter how much they changed work. So she's one of our favorite things or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah,
she did a big giant 3-story Sphinx made out of sugar in a sugar factory. A big black woman Sphinx made out of real sugar at a sugar factory as part one of her pieces. She's dope as. Yeah, she's dope. Sorry.
Yeah, her art literally is amazing. That sugar exhibit was crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so
Nice.
in the best way possible. So look,
I think it would be so dangerous to have a black woman like that. Is almost just like asking her to be a kamikaze fighter pilot. Like they will kill. I'm surprised they didn't kill Barack. They will kill her. This country would explode.
Hold that thought, Jason. So,
Sarah, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Sorry, that was funny. Kamima.
Sarah's comment, and then Neff said, well, not that one, y'all, but Neff said this. Y'all know damn well she knows every word that will be said before she agrees to sit on that couch. Yeah. Although Danielle said, maybe in this instance, thought it wisely, no, but apparently not. But Nev said, is that a painting of Drake? That's what I was trying to get at when you were showing the stuff. But to your point, Jason, about what happens to black women, although, look, Danielle just said the country does need a black mama to get its shit together. There's something to be said about how we get shit done, right? Like, and with a stern hand, and at the same time with, sometimes a nurturing and nuance that is needed to deal with fucking crazy people. But I just saw this report right as I was when I was prepping for the show. But the former Baltimore City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby I need y'all to Google, because we're not gonna be here on Friday. Just Google Attorney Marilyn Mosby. So remember, she was she went after, I think, one of the cops. I forgot which. I'm drawing a blank on details of this, but she's been prosecuted and has been found guilty for some straight up bullshit, right? Like, so, and when y'all talk, when Trump is out here talking about this is not a real trial and this is a, you know, a miscarriage of justice, la 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 la, when it's really happening for a person who actually has done nothing wrong. So just Google her, Marilyn Mosby. And so, to your point, Jason, Black woman doing her job. And then when the Trump administration took over and who he put in the Justice Department, they went for her. Talking to her babysitter, like just all up in every single fucking thing to find some shit that went wrong.
Well, did you hear? So there was an article underneath the one you sent, the second one you sent about all the Trump stuff, where they talked about his response to Columbia, and he started talking about, I guess, the president of Columbia, and he said, "Yeah, she handled this terribly. She's weak. The person that runs that school, it's a woman. She's weak." He said all this shit that was directly related to her being a woman. Instead of just saying, the president fucked this up, but he said she fucked it up because she's a woman and that makes her weak. I'm like, I don't understand how women can support this man. He shits on y'all all the time.
They support the patriarchy. They're like, as long as I'm married to, as long as I'm protected, then I'm gonna continue to like reinforce this fucked up ass situation. All right, so okay, thank you. I had to figure this out because it was driving me crazy. So Marilyn Mosby, she gained national attention. Remember the killing of Freddie Gray in 2015. She led a highly publicized investigation and ended up being an unsuccessful murder prosecution of the police officers. She was reelected in 2018, but lost her 2022 reelection bid. And then now the charges against they said she withdrew money from her own fucking accounts during like the pandemic.
To do a down payment on a house.
Yes. And now like she's been found guilty of perjury and like one count of like mortgage fraud. Like it's her own money. And there was a program.
And here's what's funny.
A COVID-19 pandemic program that was a part of like the process that she was, taking the money out of her account and going to buy these houses. It's some bullshit. So wait,
so is her lying on that paperwork somehow substantially different than Trump lying on paperwork that he turns into the fucking IRS of the United States of America every year? Or is that
she actually lied on the fucking paperwork? That's the problem.
I think what they're saying is that she was convicted of perjury for signing falsehoods in the paperwork. I believe. I'll check. I'll Google me. I don't know. Fuck it.
I don't know.
That's what I thought I saw.
I saw it as we were like about to go live, and I just was so outraged that she's possibly facing 40 years in prison on some
for falsifying
bullshit.
Paperwork. Yeah,
I don't know.
For pulling her money out of her retirement account to buy property for herself with her money that she earned. Okay,
they're saying the allegation is that she falsely claimed COVID-19 related financial hardship in requesting a one-time withdrawal from her fucking accounts.
How do they know what hardship she was going through? Shit was hard on me, and I was getting a free check laying in bed, but it was really hard on me.
So
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to read up on this because I don't understand why you have to prove hardship to get your money out of the bank. Like that's the part I'm not understanding.
Because it's an account that you can't draw out of without getting hit really hard on taxes. But they were allowing during pandemic times, they were allowing people to get a deference on that and get the money out rather than taking PPP loans or something or whatever as a way of keeping the blood flow of the economy working. And apparently she lied in the application saying that this and this was happening. I don't think she did. I think she just
like
said,
taking money out of your 401k.
Let me do shit. It's my money.
It's like taking money out of your 401k because of an emergency.
Basically.
That type of thing. Okay, gotcha.
It might be exactly that.
Okay,
there
gotcha.
was specific criteria for qualifying withdrawals, right? Such as a reduction of income due to COVID or like due to quarantining, whatever. So everybody was in a crisis during fucking COVID. So I'm going to just go ahead and say I'm sure there was something she fucking qualified for, right? 1. 2, but they're saying that she continued to draw her full salary and that her salary actually increased. So there could have still been another like rubric under which she qualified. Then they said that she made false statements in her mortgage applications for her Florida home and her condo by failing to disclose certain federal tax liabilities. Okay. So maybe a T wasn't crossed, maybe I wasn't dotted. 40 years? She facing 40 years?
Yeah,
so
any years, you shouldn't be like any kind of time behind bars for playing games with your own fucking money doesn't make any sense to me.
People lie on these applications all the time.
I sure do.
Yeah,
Because nigga, if I tell the truth, oh my God.
Yeah, everybody lies on these applications. And usually, you know, it's one thing if you say, you know, you made 300,000 last year and you only make 75,000. Like, that's pretty egregious. But people flub these numbers all the time, and they don't go to jail for 40 years. They don't go to jail. So
I'm
I don't.
disgusted by this case, and given when a certain clearly criminal white man is out here talking about witch hunts and like him being targeted, and there's a real example of what happens to black women in the system because they dared go after crooked cops, because they dare go after corrupt cops. Like, I can't. I need to exhale. Oh. So
we need more people. I think he secretly has more people than we want to admit to. We need more people.
That's true.
But also, honestly, though, Jason, I think we do have more people than are trying to admit. You do have some Republicans who are very loudly like, yeah, I voted for him in 2020. I ain't doing it again. I'm tired of him. He's exhausting. There's a whole group of
Tony's writing what I saw.
Yeah. So Tony said there's a catch on a lot of federal forms that people overlook. There's a line on there saying you verify that all of what you said here is true and whatever under penalty of perjury.
Well, to be fair,
that's what I thought I saw.
To be fair, I swear I've bought a fucking Apple product that said the same thing. I have seen this on so many documents, any application for employment, just anything. Even when you're applying for credit, sometimes you apply for credit and it asks what your income is, and they don't always ask to verify it. And there's an addendum in there that's like, you know, under penalty of law, you certify that all this information is correct. Most people, they play around with the numbers. People shouldn't go to jail for 40 years over fucking applications.
If anything, fuck it, a fine. So Tony said it's a catch-all. If her hardship didn't meet the criteria for getting the money and you accept it, you are rolling the dice. And her role in the protest made her a target. So again, when we are moving around in this world, this is why there are some of us who are like, you got to cross all T's, dot all I's. You cannot move outside the line, right? Like, everything has to be above reproach, because if you dare question their shit, they are coming for you with every single fucking.
It's true. It's true. That's what happened to. I'm always fascinated by this. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Phaedra Parks and Apollo Nida, they married on the show. Apollo is over here stealing fucking checks from people's retirement and shit. Allegedly, just in case I got the facts wrong. But it was a scam that he was running. Now, you know, a lot of times when these people are on these shows, the house is rented, the car is leased so that they can put on airs for the show. But, you know, it's crazy when I think about the fact that you're on a television show and you out here. Same thing with the woman from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Jen Shaw. She was stealing money from elderly people, knowing that, and went on this show. I don't know if it's ego, because it just feels like pure stupid. Well, I don't want to call this lady stupid, but what we're saying here is that, yeah, when you're high profile in this current political climate, yeah, you got to be extra careful. You know, the average person.
No, you're right.
It don't make it right. It don't make it right.
No, let's go after some of these Congress people who their PP loans got forgiven. Like, since we crossing T's and dotting I's, since we doing the check-in, since we check-in. Yeah. So but again, this is the thing about this two-tier system of justice, which is, I think, what was the title of Joy's segment. And you got a real criminal. Fuck it, I don't give a fuck. This innocent until proven guilty. He got state secrets in a motherfucking bathroom. He was asked to return. Okay, like, he incited insurrection. He tried to circumvent the peaceful transfer of power. He tried to overthrow the fucking government.
Violated a court order from a judge not to speak on witnesses. That's witness. Like, you're intimidating witnesses. And
he's trying to pre-order up another violent insurrection now in front of our eyes on Twitter every day. He's like, oh, y'all, you know, if I don't win this thing, because the only fair election is one where he wins.
Yeah.
Well, if I win, it was fair.
So someone who every time he opens his mouth is likely committing a crime. Okay, that dude.
Yeah.
That dude wants to talk about being targeted. I can't. I cannot.
Fix
I'm
it,
gonna start
Jesus.
cussing. I'm trying not
Fix
to
it,
start cussing.
Jesus.
So
Fix it, Jesus.
thank you, Neff. Please.
She's filming. They brought her ass back for Married to Medicine. I ain't never seen an episode of Married to Medicine, but they brought her back. They filming it right now.
Oh, I saw the first couple episodes of this past season.
Y'all love these shows.
I know why they bringing her back. Messy ass Phaedra. They they know what they're doing.
Jason, I only watched two of them. I watch Atlanta and I watch the messy
Chappaquiddick. Wait,
Potomac.
Pocahontas. Yeah. The Housewives of Pocahontas. I know.
Yeah, I watch Potomac. I don't know how it's gonna be without Candace next season, but I'm gonna watch it.
And Robin gone too. We didn't talk about it. Oh wow, Antoine.
That's why I look like I'm fine with that.
I don't think. Look, people have this strong dislike for Robin. Robin engages in shit that's just. She makes herself look bad, but I think she's always good for the show. Because when people are, even her and Juan, like the way that man treats her, I'm just like, yeah, because they call Juan her roommate. People online refuse to call him her husband because they say they are not sleeping together. They are roommates. But yeah, and the fact that Juan wasn't there at the reunion, she was trying to talk shit about Candace. I'm like, at least her husband showed up, girl.
Highlighting columns comment said, while the Supreme Court ponders immunity for Trump, right? And then Tony said, just remember, we can't play fast and loose with the rules. If you lose, the penalties are harsh already. It'll feel like a thumb on the scale at the end of the day.
That's true.
I 100% agree with you. 100. There's a project that I might end up consulting on, and it's funny because the head of it was like, "So you're a lawyer, right?" I was like, "I'm gonna stop you right there."
Well, I'm not a practicing lawyer. Is the correct response? Yes.
I am a lawyer on paper, and because we know all T's got to be crossed, all I's got to be dotted. I can look over somebody's work, but I should not be the main person who is in charge of it. So, yeah, we can't play these games out in these streets, especially
I mean, the latest one, the one that stands out the most is what happened with Fonnie. That's the one that stands out the most. It's like we just have to be extra
Antoine,
careful.
Antoine, why are you trying?
It don't make it right.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, but I feel like that's when we had this conversation last. Had to do with that. And I always bring up because they talk all this stuff in the post game about how crooked Obama. Blah, blah. I was like, bro, if he had a bad toenail, you motherfuckers would have found it. You looked. Trust me, you looked. You checked his booty blood test records. You checked everything. You couldn't. Sorry, but the test that they give.
Okay, so
whatever they call that.
That was gross. They treat Biden like a black man. Again, if there was something there, trust, right? They've been combing through this man's booty test results. Is that what
booty blood test?
Booty blood test.
Well, I mean, and we found out like the whole Biden thing. We had the dude that was like maybe in cahoots with the Russians and shit. It's like it was all fake.
Right.
Like it was based on nothing. Like
lies. Karen said when Giuliani was mayor, she stopped jaywalking because she knew her black ass would get a ticket.
I know that's right.
These are the things.
You couldn't even walk the streets without they could just pull me over and what, dude?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, luckily I'm light.
I knew you was about to say that. I knew you were about to say that.
Comedic callback. Sorry.
The 3 light skins show tonight.
Right.
Please like the video. please like it. We will not be.
Please
here
like and subscribe.
Thank you, Jason. We will not be here on Friday. It's my birthday. Yay! We'll be back on Monday. So yeah. Anything else? Anybody got anything else?
I'm exhausted.
Happy birthday to me.
Sorry,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, beauty.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Bye, everybody. See you guys. We smiling at the end.
Maybe.
Did I hit the? Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know. Okay, so toodles to you niggas. Do we know
Thank you, Mo.
what's the actual
May
day?
May 6th.
May 6th. Okay, glad you know. Okay. We'll be back Monday, May 6th. And again, we are no longer transmitting live on Facebook because we did not have a synchronization problem and we removed Facebook, so we saved some bandwidth and apparently it's working. So we might start.
But the archives will be up there still, right? They'll be posted up there for later.
When this broadcast ends, I'm gonna post it on Facebook.
I still think that was something to do with Jason using streaming from his phone, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens when we come back. Sorry. Now I'm of course looking at comments. Everybody wishing me happy birthday. Thank you guys. Tony said, "Well, happy birthday." You're damn straight because the bitch don't drink like she used to because I like to walk the next day. So yeah, I'll be all good.
Tony said y'all were dragging ass after Antoine's. And I was like, what is he talking about? I was like, oh, after my birthday.
Yeah, I was just tired. Fucking all that travel.
I'm still not recovering from that trip. Shit.
Okay, y'all, Coco over here.
Emotionally, financially, none of it. Still ain't right.
Put a hitch in his giddy up.
Coco's yelling at me, so
Okay. Toodles to you, niggas.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.